Who is God? Now, the question of God's existence is not even disputed in the Bible. The Bible says in Psalm 14, verse 1, only a fool says there is no God. So the Bible doesn't try to prove God's existence. It just lets nature prove it itself. It lets our conscience prove it itself. I've discovered atheists and agnostics, their real problem isn't so much that they don't believe God exists, is they're questioning his justice. They see suffering and they wonder, where is God? And that's okay to question God in that term. In fact, even the psalmists, some of the prophets, they do question, why have you left me? Why have you forsaken me? But they never question whether God exists. So the question then becomes, who is God? Well, first I want to focus on God's identity. The first thing you need to know about God is he's the living God. He's not dead. In Jeremiah 10, verse 5, Jeremiah says the scarecrows and all those idols they make, they don't speak, they don't talk, they don't walk. In other words, they're dead things, but not God. He's a living God. So the first thing you have to recognize is God is alive and he's the one that gives us life. The second thing you need to recognize is God is a personal God. That means he's a person, not an it. God speaks to Moses in Exodus chapter 3, and he wants to know from God, who do I say sent me? And God says, tell him I am who sent me, not I it. God is a personal God. So he is a person. That brings us to the final point, is God is spirit. Jesus said in John 14:24, God is spirit. That is, he's not physical. He doesn't have physical hands and physical eyes and physical ears. Because if he was physical, then he would not be the creator. God has to be spirit, and spirit is greater than all materiality. So if God could be seen, then he would just be part of our creation, right? So God is a living being. He's personal and he's a spirit. Those are the three most fundamental facts you need to understand about God's identity.